How far did you go in a game of truth or dare? One time a girl was dared to kiss me. Her quote was, "I thought we weren't doing kissing." To which I said, "Yeah, so I've gone as far as to keck block myself." Dominance assured. I was sitting with my girlfriend next to me and received the dare, "Kiss the person next to you." I made eye contact with her, smiled, and leaned in. As soon as I saw her close her eyes, I whipped around to my right, grabbed my friend's jaw, and kissed him square on the lips. Oh, she was mad, but oh, was it worth it? Did you say no homo though? It was a sleepover with 2 boys and 3 girls at this girl's house. I was one of the lucky guys. We were playing truth or dare and our clothes were coming off piece by piece. I got dared to wear a leopard bra from the girl of the house's dresser. Right as I put it on and start dancing around like a silly idiot, her mom walks in and I get sent home. Edit, we were about 14 to 15, so it all was pretty exciting. As a dare, I got my ear pierced by a friend using a needle. Seemed funny at the time, but the next few days, where it was leaking yellow pus and my entire ear was red, were a little less funny. When I was much younger, 2 girls, my friend and I, were hanging out. We eventually started playing truth or dare, which eventually ended in the girls daring us to give them massages. Those manipulative brats. Got free massages out of it too, because there was no way in hell we were going to say no to girls lifting the backs of their shirts up and unhooking their bras. That was, sadly, all the further it went. I don't exactly remember what happened after the massages. I'm pretty sure the blood was directed away from my brain at the time. I think we may have been called down for dinner or something, or the girls had to go home or something of the sort. We were, as I said, young. At a friend's house for a sleepover when I was maybe 12 or so. Just me, my brother, and the friend playing truth or dare. Really just dare, because truth is lame AF. We were doing the typical set, making drinks out of condiments and other stuff to chug, putting household items in the freezer etc. when I was hit with a ducking dare bomb. Sneak into his sister's room, who was a few years younger than us, go to her personal bathroom, take a set, and leave it. Ninja set? I'm down. So I left a monster log in her toilet and sneakily waddled back out to the main bathroom to wipe. Can't have toilet paper obstructing the view of that beautiful brown python. The next morning, we woke up to screams. I got a very stern talking to, but I know both my friend's dad and my dad were laughing inside. Also, I was strictly forbidden from entering her room. Totally worth it. Was dared to go home. I went home. I was never dared to do anything particularly crazy, mostly because I was usually the innocent one, but a girl was once dared to kiss me on the lips. The darer was okay with a peck, and she said that, since it isn't in a sexual context, there's nothing weird about it. I wasn't really paying attention and suddenly this girl pops up and kisses me. Her lips were uncomfortably moist, and then goes back to sitting like nothing happened. I have to be honest, that was probably the worst kiss I've experienced. I had my pants down to my ankles with my underwear pulled down to expose my cheeks, and had to waddle for 2 blocks whilst having my shirt pulled behind my head and pinching my nipples. Gave a blue jeb to a long balloon. I was maybe 12. So, my friends and I always played extreme truth or dare, and I was always the dummy who backed out of things. This is really trashy, but it's a dose of reality. I'm 16, but people think I'm much older because I've been weight training since I was 12, so my haircut muscles outweigh my baby face, and when talking to people and they often think I'm older. Anyway, there was this guy at the gym that was always super flirtatious with me. I always brushed him off because I'm an awkward kid who doesn't know how to deal with creepy guys yet. Anyway, after falling into the peer pressure, I told the friends in my group to give me an extreme dare and I promised I wouldn't back out. They told me to ask out the creep at the gym, but I was like heck no, but they kept putting money on it. Big money too. They each put $30 on it, so it was 30x6. I finally asked the dude on a date and we went on one. My parents thought I was out with friends. Anyway, he was a nice guy and we talked about normal things. He asked me how college was. I went into immense detail, since my older sister is in college and I know how it works. Anyway, that was the only date we went on and by the end of the week, I scored $180. I know. I'm a cheap girl. BTW at the end of the week, I told him I was underaged, and I never saw him at the gym after that. I put my deck in a VCR once. Not a super big deal, but back in the day, when I was only 13, I was playing Truth or Dare at my best friend's house. She had invited another friend over, who was a kid that bullied me at school. My friend pulled me aside and told me to my surprise that the kid had a crush on me and was planning to kiss me that night. I wasn't having any of that because that kid was a jerk. Would rip up my homework and get me in trouble, make fun of anything he could about me in a super mean way, and always interrupted me when I tried to talk. So this little jerk was bragging about how he was the king of Truth or Dare, and it came my turn to dare him. I dared him to drink a concoction that my best friend and I were going to make in the kitchen. He accepted. So we go into the kitchen and get a cup, and we are putting the grossest set we can find in it. I'm talking pickle juice, cough syrup, cumin spice, red pepper flakes, sprinkles for texture, cottage cheese, peanut butter, beef stew, apple juice, vinegar. We even found some spoiled milk to put in it. It was gross as heck. We give the cup to him and warn him that it's pretty dang disgusting. I told him that it was okay if he didn't want to drink it because we did go a little overboard. Lol. He told me rudely to shut up and that he was the king of Truth or Dare, and he chugs this set. A couple seconds later, he makes this awful face and runs out the door to the back porch and pukes over the side of the railing. Needless to say, I did not receive any kiss that night. I guess it worked out. It wasn't me, but on the way to a track meet in 8th grade, my friend and I were sitting in the seats about 3 rows from the back of the bus. Almost all of the guys on the team were behind us. Small school, small team. I don't know if it was a dare or what, but I heard them saying something about getting hard, and when I looked over at my friend I saw one dude jerking off out of the corner of my eye. I tried to go across the row to my friend's seat so I didn't have to see that to talk to her, and I was yelled at by one of the coaches to go back to my seat. These guys would also occasionally sit kinda close to the front, and one would play porn and hold their phone out in the middle of the aisle for the rest to see. I haven't been in track since. I was playing a game a little bit similar to Truth or Dare called King's Game. If you want rules, just look it up, I'm not explaining them, and at this point it was just me and 2 other people, 1 girl, 2 guys. I was one of the guys, and it was basically watered down to the other guy trying to get the girl to do lewd acts with him like lap dancing, touching his crotch, and even have her flash him. The 2 were dating, so I guess it was okay. Most likely not in my opinion, and it was just weird. Probably about 19 at the time. Male. Got dared to lick chocolate sauce off a girl's bare tit. She wasn't into me, but loved the attention, so I went for it. Another time I was dating someone at the time, and they dared her to give me a BJ under a blanket. She went for it and nobody actually believed it was happening. My one friend called BS on me, and I swore, no dude, she's ducking sucking it right now, back off. Then his girlfriend shouted no ducking way, and tried to yank the blanket off. I grabbed it back and leaned over to the side to hide our sinfulness, but I'm pretty sure they caught a glimpse. I was about 12, and I was really excited because everybody else was about 17. It started off harmless, like slap someone or something, but it escalated pretty quickly. One of the girls was asked to screw one of the jerk, ripped guys. They were in there for like 10 minutes and nobody believed they actually did it. Everybody believed it 9 months later. Made out with a girl for the first time in 7th grade. Made out with others, but obviously the first time was the most eventful. Especially because I was a total dork, and she pulled me in, later saying she thought I'd appreciate it. Which I god dang did. What a patriot. Kate was a college girl in a middle schooler's body. I'm late so this will probably get buried, but it's the only time I think I might be prompted to tell this story. When I was about 13 or 14 years old, my family and I went camping at a popular spring here in my state. There are always a lot of spring breakers of all ages at these springs, and it's a very popular camping/party site around spring break, which is when we were there. It was about 1 AM. My parents had gone to their tent for the night by my friend CJ, and I decided we were going to walk around all the party areas and see what was going on. Most people still out partying were around college age, and we were very obviously younger. There was a group we passed who was playing Truth or Dare, and we watched for a minute or two as they did dumb things like chug bottles of Jack Daniels or strip and jump into the cold spring. Then we went along the way elsewhere. As the path came back around, circular trail we were walking on, a very attractive, very drunk girl that looked to be 18 to 19 came walking up to me. She put her hands on my shoulders to stop me, asked me my name, and got on her knees in front of me with her hands on the buttons of my jeans, and repeated my name back to me, and said, "Can I suck your penis please?" I could see the group nearby from truth or dare all watching, and I knew it was clearly a dare. I say no, sorry. She looked shocked and said no. Then turned back to them and said he told me no. I heard some dude from their group yell gay and awkwardly walked away at an embarrassingly fast pace to distance myself from everyone who was watching. Looking back on it now as an adult, I always wonder if she was dared to ask and that was it. Or if she was dared to say or do something after I said yes and I messed up the dare by saying no. Or if she was dared to actually give a BJ to a random underage kid. I don't know what she was planning on doing if I said yes. Seeing this question about how far people have went playing truth or dare makes me wonder how far she was willing to go. Also, it seems far crazier nowadays than it did back then. I jumped 20 stairs almost 3 meters height I think. I was stupid, I tore a ligament in knee. Okay. That is the video. Please like and subscribe or else I will cry. Goodbye.